We are looking at day 12, but before we do that, there is something super exciting coming up, and it is spring break. I don't know about you, but I am super excited for spring break, and before we can jump into spring break, we've got to look at day 12 of work. So we are going to look at that day 12 on our new CMS packet that we just picked up, and it is on page 1. So we're going to go across that second row that's on page 1, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're working on today. So jumping right in with literacy and reading today, I want you to make sure that you are clicking on that link below. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a minute to click on that first link below. That is the module video, and you're going to go ahead and take a few minutes to watch that video. Now that you have watched that video, and feel free to watch it as many times as you need, I am going to read us the book that we looked at yesterday that is on page 10 and 11 of your packet. So if you will turn to page 10 and 11, we are going to read that book together. Make a Tree Friend, written by Elise Sweeney and illustrated by Joanne Renaud. Amy is friends with many trees. When she wants to swing, she visits a maple tree. When she wants to eat, she visits an apple tree. When she wants to cry, she visits a weeping willow. When she wants to climb, she visits an oak tree. When she wants to think, she visits a birch tree. When she wants to count, she visits a pine tree. When she wants to rest, she visits an elm tree. You can be friends with a tree too. Find a tree, visit the tree, to climb, think, and play. Make a tree friend. Now that we read our book, Make a Tree Friend, together, you are going to flip to page 12 of your packet that looks like this. And we are looking at day 12 for today. And based on that story that we just read together, you are going to think about one key detail. So one key detail from that story. And when I think back, we talked about key details a long time ago, but a key detail, if I remember correctly, is an important part of a story, like just one important little chunk of the story that helps me to understand the rest of the story. So I want you to pick just one from that book that we read on pages 10 and 11, and on page 12, you are going to sketch a picture of that key detail, and you are going to write a sentence of that key detail in your story. Now that you have completed that, we are moving into our word work time. And before we get started in word work, I want you to click on that second link below to take you to the word work video, which you're going to watch now. Now that you have watched that video, we are going to look to page 14 of our packet that looks like this. And once you are on page 14, we're looking at that decodable text that can be found right here in the center bottom of that page 14. And we are going to read that text together. So if you want, get your finger ready so we can use that pointer power, and we are going to read this text. It is called Josh's New Home. The rug is red. Ben can see a bed. Ben is by the bed. Josh and Ben sit and chat in the den. The rug is wet. Now that we have read that together, you are going to take a highlighter, a crayon, a marker, any color you want, and you are going to highlight all of the high frequency words that you see in that decodable text, Josh's New Home. So you're gonna highlight them with a marker, crayon, or a highlighter, any high frequency word that you see in that poem. After you have read it, you are going to write all of those words. That is our challenge of the day. You're not only just highlighting, but you're going to write each of those words too. And I want you to say each sound as you spell it on the paper. You're going to hang on to this paper. You can either put this in a journal that you've been keeping track of all your work in, or you can just hang on to the plain piece of paper that you're going to write on. But make sure you keep hold of this. You are writing all those high frequency words that you also practiced highlighting. Okay, we are now moving into math. So what I want you to do is click on that last link that is down in the bottom for that Jack Hartman video. You are going to practice again counting to 100 by ones. After you have practiced counting to 100 by ones, you are going to clap every time you cross the decade. So remember, the decade would be like 10, 20, 30, 40. Every time you cross one of those decade numbers, you're going to clap while you count all the way to 100 by ones. So that's the first thing we're doing for math today. After that, our special number that we are looking at today is number 12. It is day 12. We are looking at number 12, and you are going to flip to page 5 and 6 of that packet. So page 5 looks like this, and page 6 looks like this. And remember, we are focusing on the number 12. So you are going to show me 12 in that 10 frame. You are also going to show me 12 on that page 5, just like you did with 11. We're going to do this in either a math journal or on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to make sure you hang on to it. And you are filling in a line of 12, a circle of 12, an array of 12, and then you're showing me 12 in that 10 frame. After you finish that, you are flipping to page 8. You may have already cut up page 8. That is perfectly fine. You are using those little 10 frames that we had that we cut up yesterday, and they should be in a bag or wherever you have them stored. You are using those again to play that fluency game using the 10 frames, and you're going to go all the way until you run out of those 10 frames. Okay, we are looking at our final subject today, which is social studies, and we are thinking back to point of view. So I remember a few days ago we talked about the point of view, like a bird's eye view, and how a bird's eye view is from above. So when they're flying over, they can look down and see the top view of a building or an area or a park, anything they're flying above. They can see that top view from looking from above. So your job today is to find a new room that you haven't already drawn. You are going to do two things. So you're going to have two pictures. You're going to draw a picture from standing in the doorway. So you're going to stand in the doorway and look around and draw what you see. And then you are going to draw a second picture of what you think that room would look like from a bird's eye view. So if you were a bird flying over that room, what do you think that room would look like? And I have a little example here that may help. So I have a drawing of our kitchen, and it is the kitchen from the doorway. So I can see the island and those chairs, and we have a fridge over here. And then I drew the view from above. So this is the top of that island. There's a rug in the center. I drew a stove. So you are going to pick a room in your house, and I want you to draw two pictures, a picture from above, a bird's view, and then a picture from the doorway, the view that you see when you're just standing in the doorway. You're going to hang on to both of these pictures, whether they're in a journal or on a separate piece of paper. Make sure you are keeping those in a safe place. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you all soon, and I hope you have an awesome spring break.